everyone 16 and older is eligible now to get the shot.
It's a lot more people. Appointments are filling up. Our Wrdw looks at how hospitals and clinics are able to meet the demand.
More than 200 people an hour are getting vaccinated here at AU Health's clinic today. A noticeably younger crowd, as everyone is now eligible across the state. AU Health says their strategy won't change, and they likely won't host clinics every day to keep up with demand. Instead, they may do more shots at each clinic. I spoke with several people eligible starting today, and they told me there's a sense of relief and excitement. The Richmond County Health Department says they'll continue vaccinations every day and add more appointments if they can. But at AU, they don't want to lose track of those in rural areas or vulnerable populations. Dr. Joshua White with AU Health says that will be the challenge.
In the beginning of the pandemic and vaccine came available is that people chased vaccines. There's going to become a point very soon where vaccines are going to have to chase people. There's no more line. Everyone is eligible, so if anyone had the hesitancy that they were jumping the line, that's over.
And with demand expected to be high at least over the next month, AU Health says they want to reach more rural communities. We'll take a look at that effort on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Reporting in Augusta, Wrdw on your side.
By the way, AU Health is booked through the rest of the weekend.
And first dose clinics will be less frequent over the next couple of weeks because of the Masters tournament and the extra traffic there on Washington Road. But there are some vaccine clinics in the area for tomorrow. We checked AU's website. There's still appointments available for their clinic over at Aiken Tech. It's from 9 until 4:30. You do need to schedule that appointment before you just show up. Aiken County Public School staff can also be vaccinated tomorrow. That clinic going on from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon at Wagner Sally High School.
Georgia parents, while your teenager is eligible to get a vaccine, the only one the FDA has approved for them is the Pfizer vaccine. Officials say it is the only vaccine where those age groups have been part of vaccine trials.
It was felt that it was very likely that the preliminary information they had for 16 and up would reflect what the 18-year and older person would experience as well, and that this would be a safe vaccine that generated a reliable protective antibody response.
Doctors also say it is safe for breastfeeding mothers to get vaccinated. Their preliminary research says the vaccine could actually help them pass antibodies to their babies.
Members of the Georgia House are moving forward on their voting bill, which would make some big changes to voting for 2022. The legislation limits drop boxes to inside voting locations during voting hours. It also makes it a misdemeanor to give food or drinks to voters out there standing in lines. Another item in the bill, runoff election cycles. Those would go from 9 weeks to just 4 weeks. The bill now heads back to the state Senate. Let's have a look outside. There's more.
Friday, this is coming from the Storm Prediction Center, and they haven't really changed their thinking all too much for what we're expecting. So it's a low-end severe weather threat and mainly confined to the first half of your Friday. Well, much more on that weekend forecast coming up in the full forecast.
Riley, thanks. First at 5, the U.S. Marshal's Office assisting the Richmond County deputies in the arrest of Aquan Burns. Officials say Burns is connected to a murder back on February the 4th at the Budgetel Inn. It is the 5th arrest in that murder investigation. Burns has active warrants now for murder, assault, and weapons charges. We've requested a booking photo. We'll update you as soon as we learn more about that.
This Georgia high school coach has been fired for this photo. In it, the Raven County High School coach is shown putting his knee on a student's neck. He is reenacting what happened to George Floyd. Raven County is about 100 miles northeast of Atlanta. Parents and students were upset, and then the superintendent investigated. She says that coach no longer works for the school system. Now, students are reacting to the day.
It was absolutely terrible. This coach, he's a coach. He's supposed to be a huge role model for these students. He's not supposed to bring his own political views or just his own opinion about certain situations like this and make a mockery of it.
The coach has not yet responded since this came out. The man accused of taking 6 guns and body armor into an Atlanta Publix will stay in jail, at least for now. Today, police released the mugshot of that suspect. His name is Rico Marley. They also announced what they will charge him with. He faces 11 felonies in all. A customer in the Publix said they spotted him yesterday afternoon with a rifle, but when Marley was searched, they say they found a lot more. He is accused of walking into that bathroom with a rifle, a shotgun, 4 handguns, and several magazines. He will stay in jail until his next hearing, which has not yet been scheduled.
Also today, Mayor Hardy Davis talking about what
The Charlie Norwood VA is hosting a stand down event. Officials want to help out Augusta's veterans who are homeless or those at risk of becoming homeless. He'll be over at the Uptown campus on Freedom Way. It starts at 10 and lasts until noon. They'll be giving out free lunches, hygiene kits, vaccines, and other donated goods. We've got 3 state championship high school basketball teams in our area. In a couple of hours, 2 teams are being celebrated. The Cross Creek boys and girls basketball teams will celebrate their state championship wins. Each player will get to cut a piece of the net to add to the trophy case. The Cross Creek boys and girls and the Josie girls team all won the state championships in their division a couple of weeks ago. We'll take you there live on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Congratulations to them.
amazing celebration. All for one city to host those 3 teams, that's pretty neat.
Big news and big for them. Theme parks, they're fun for a lot of us, but the congestion, the traffic, the long waits, well, it makes them a little less than advantageous, right? Well, we'll show you how a Georgia teen brought the roller coaster to his own backyard. Oh, Mom is probably terrified.
Well done.
Wear a helmet.
Hey, that looks pretty fun right there.
How would you like a roller coaster in your own backyard, but instead of being made of a huge metal like this one's made out of wood and PVC pipe.
See, that sounds a little scary to me, but one Georgia teenager took the vision, he turned it into a reality. Berg Peterson takes us to the backyard for the ride of a lifetime.
Ben Holliday never thought he'd one day be a test pilot, but somebody had to do it.
I was absolutely terrified, but I guess because I built it, I knew how sturdy it was, so I was pretty confident that I would be okay. But yeah, I was screaming my head off. It was crazy.
Seems like a natural reaction to the roller coaster Ben built in the backyard of his family's Sandy Springs home. With his own 2 hands, over the last 3 weeks, he put together a collection of 2x4s, PVC pipes, cinder blocks, and sandbags, and constructed the car.
It's on casters, and we've got 3 sets of 4 wheels. We've got 4 that go on the top here to hold it on the top. We have another 4 on the side here, and then another 4 underneath.
I'm ready.
Even his mom went for a ride. She's proud of what her son has created, but she wonders, when is it coming down?
I'm looking forward to getting my yard back. I've got some plants which are trying to grow through underneath it. And yeah, this is not going to be a permanent fixture in my yard, I can tell you that.
Ben's roller coaster has gotten thousands of likes on social media, and just maybe, the soon-to-be college freshman will go into business.
That would honestly be my dream job, to build stuff like this for people, and then see their reaction when they go down it for the first time. But yeah, I've had so much fun building this thing.
And Ben's like, okay, Mom, I'll move it to the front yard. How's that?
I love that Mom gave it a try and then she said, not a permanent fixture. But she doesn't seem worried about the broken bones. I guess she watched the construction and felt confident it was good.
You don't skip on construction when you were the first test
That's
pilot.
true.
So it's a solid roller coaster, Riley. I mean, I think you did a pretty good job. Maybe a future engineering degree at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
is in the
There you
future.
go. It could be a jacket in the making, and it looked very impressive to me. I'd go down it. But
I think I would too after watching people go down it multiple times. I'm like, okay, now the first person?
exactly. Once he goes down a few times, test out that weight limit, then we're good to go.
Terrified on that first run. You wonder if you're going to go off the far end of it.
Exactly.
Slow down at times.
Yep. Wonder if those physics equations came out just right going
Do the
down the
math.
first time.
Always.
But, yeah. We're in Tuesday.
Thanks, Riley. Georgia is the 8th worst state when it comes to senior citizen hunger. One group in Savannah is working to help change that. Senior Citizens Incorporated has been working in that community for more than 60 years now. They started out feeding 13 seniors a day. Now they're up to 1,800 a day. Savannah's Mayor Van Johnson says the group is making a difference.
This pandemic has exposed every vulnerability in our social service system. Those that were hungry became hungrier. Those that were lonely became lonelier. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Meeting people where they are, serving their need where they are.
And this is true in every community. So if you're in need of meals here in Augusta, our chapter of Meals on Wheels number is right there on the bottom of your screen, 706-210-2018. You can also visit mealsonwheelscsra.org to find out more about this program. A North Carolina custodian up for a State Heroes Award for his dedication to his elementary school. He didn't get it, but the community got busy. We're going to have that story when we come back.
The pandemic's fallout could last for a lifetime.
Death is not the only outcome from this disease.
Local survivors flooding the I-Team with tales of debilitating symptoms. Locked in limbo. Tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
You know, for kids, inspiration and mentorship can come from just about anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And for these North Carolina elementary school students, it comes from a custodian who goes above and beyond to teach the next generation. That's on top of all his maintenance, groundskeeping, and cleaning duties.
Margaret Kavanaugh has his story.
Raymond Brown thought he was meeting up with his family to celebrate his 38th wedding anniversary. Surprised by the Eatington community, gathering to honor the man they call Mr. Brown, the head custodian at White Oak Elementary.
The quiet hero of our school.
He's kind of our rock, the foundation of what we do here, and does much more than just cleaning and keeping the grounds. He works really, really hard to build relationships with the students.
Going through the school, some of the kids said, Mr. Brown, I wish you were my father, I wish you were my grandfather.
One student he showed love to was Adrian Wood's youngest boy, Amos, who has autism.
He got to being attached to me, and I got attached to him, so I gave him the name Famous Amos.
The nickname Famous Amos caught on. And then everybody was like, well, Amos is pretty cool, you know, and he might not be the kind of friend that plays with me or talks, but children really gravitated towards him, which for me, the mother of a child with a disability, is all I want in life for him. Last year, they say Mr. Brown was nominated for the North Carolina School Heroes Award, but didn't win. So this mom rallied the community to give him their own award. And a $35,000 check, calling it the Famous Amos Award. My whole life, I've sat in church and uttered the words to give as much more than to receive, but I've never really had that concept hit home like it did on Saturday.
I'm just an ordinary custodian that works and, trying to make the school safe, clean.
This mother says we need to recognize more people like Mr. Brown that are doing really good work and get overlooked. Teaching kindness, compassion, and being a mentor to so many children.
And don't you know how much that day meant to him? Much more than any state award could ever mean. That award, that community coming together, that's big.
Yes, and I mean, he's just a fixture in that school. He is a father figure to so many of those kids.
True. Changing some lives.
So sweet.
Some people just go to work and other people just put everything they have into work, so good for him. We do have some breaking news to pass along just coming into our newsroom. A wanted fugitive caught and arrested near the Moose Club Road and the Augusta Highway. This is Roderick Cox, spotted near White Oak Road in Thompson before running from deputies. Police dogs were actually used to track Cox down. Deputies were looking for him for charges out of Lincoln County. Cox facing charges for kidnapping, armed robbery, family violence, and cruelty against children.
Well, heading into the weekend,
So more of you.
From the station that's on your side, breaking news.
Good evening. We do begin with breaking news. A kidnapping and robbery suspect in custody after a manhunt this evening.
Roderick